Hey everyone, welcome back to the Campfire Series, brought to you by North Dakota State Parks and Recreation. Today we're welcoming back Erika and Mary from Turtle River State Park, and we're going to learn about the fun facts of mammals found all around North Dakota.
Hello everyone, I'm Mary.
And I'm Erika, here from North Dakota Parks and Recreation to talk to you about mammals for this week's Campfire Series.
Before we get into some mammals of North Dakota, let's talk a little bit about what makes a mammal a mammal.
Mammals have fur or hair, a backbone, and are warm-blooded, but what they're really known for is drinking their mother's milk. Mammal is derived from the Latin mammalia, which means of the breast. All mammal mothers nurse their young by producing milk from their mammary glands. Almost all mammals are born alive, with the exception of members of the monotremes family. This includes the egg-laying members of the duck-billed platypus and the 4 species of echidnas, also known as spiny anteaters.
While mammals share a few common attributes, they vary widely with others. Mammals' adaptations have allowed them to live on every continent and in every ocean. An adaptation is something a mammal has or does that helps them to survive. This means that they have some behavioral trait or physical attribute that helps them live in their environment. For example, beavers have webbed feet that help them swim, while caribou migrate long distances with the changing seasons.
Mammals of North Dakota are also very well suited for their environments. Bison, elk, pronghorn, black-tailed prairie dogs, bighorn sheep, and mule deer are very well suited for the shortgrass prairies of western North Dakota and the Badlands.
Beavers, muskrat, minks, and river otters inhabit the waterways and wetlands, while fisher, tree squirrels, bear, moose, white-tailed deer, and woodchucks inhabit the forested regions. These are just a few examples of the many species in North Dakota. If any of them caught your eye, there are a few things you can do to ensure you can spot them in the wild.
Before heading out on your next adventure to view great wildlife of North Dakota, there's a few things you need to remember. Always view wildlife from a safe distance. Although sometimes they may seem tame, you still need to treat them with caution as they can be unpredictable. One of the things to help with that would be to bring binoculars or a spotting scope to view them at a safe distance. And always remember to stay on marked trails and to pack in, pack out when possible.
To increase your chances of finding your desired animal, do a little research beforehand. Find out what kind of habitat your animal prefers and familiarize yourself with its behaviors and sounds. Knowing what your animal's forage looks like, what their tracks and scat, also known as droppings, look like, and where they may nest or bed can help you determine if your animal is in the area, even if you don't see it. Let's practice with searching for a white-tailed deer. Deer tracks are overall triangular in shape. They are split in two, dividing the triangle in half, and the point of the triangle points in the direction of travel. The tracks are typically 3 to 6 inches in length, with fawns being the smallest and bucks being the largest. You can tell how fresh the tracks are by looking around at the soil around the tracks. Is there moisture in it as though it was freshly disturbed, or have the tracks been filled in with some dirt as though they have been there a while?
White-tailed deer scat varies greatly depending on the season. Many times you will find it will be oval in shape, whether it is a ½ inch to an inch long, and depending on the season it will be loosely formed or in a slight tube. The most commonly confused scat is from rabbits. Rabbit scat tends to be more round in shape rather than oval. A great way to remember which is deer scat looks like raisinets and rabbit scat looks like Cocoa Puffs.
Another way deer are confused with rabbits is what they are feeding on or browsing. Rabbits tend to leave their browse clean cut, while when you're looking at vegetation from a deer, you will notice that there's a little fuzzy remnant on one side, and it is only clean cut halfway through. Let's look at their skull to find out why. What is one of the first things you notice when looking at the skull? Well, it is missing its front teeth, also called incisors, so they only have those front teeth on the bottom. This allows them to only cut through half of the vegetation, tearing the rest and leaving behind the fuzzy edge.
Deer tend to bed down in protected areas with a good view of their surroundings. This includes areas protected from the weather and predators. Their beds are temporary oval depressions in grass and snow.
Now that you know what a mammal is, some common attributes, and some common species of North Dakota, as well as some tips on how to safely view wildlife, we encourage you to go out to one of North Dakota Parks and Recreation's locations to see how many mammals you can find.
I'm Erika.
And I'm Mary.
And thank you for joining us for this week's Campfire Series.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch the Campfire Series all summer long, brought to you from North Dakota State Parks and Recreation. See you next time.